What's going on, guys? It's Victor here. And,
He's touching my leg as he's doing it. That's the worst part. What's going on, YouTube? You already know who it is. Your boy Vic. We're back at it with part 2 of awkward moments in high school / middle school. So I guess we'll just hop right into it. If you guys haven't seen the first episode of part 1, I'll have a link down below. Make sure to go check that out. Pretty cool stories, pretty funny stories. Awkward moments for sure. So I'll hop into junior year. So junior year, we're going straight into it. This is when I became a football player. So I joined the school that was next to us because our school didn't have sports. So the only option was to play for the school next to me, or next to our school. I ended up being starting left guard. So it was pretty dope. So homecoming was happening, alright? So this is another homecoming story. The girl that I asked out freshman year, I'm talking to her and my friend Gabe and her friend, history class. I forgot what period it was, but it was throughout the day. And she asked me straight up, she's like, "Hey, Vic, you know, if I asked you to homecoming, would you say yes?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'll go with you." Like, I thought she was being dead joking. So I said, "Yeah," just playing around. She's like, "Alright, cool." Keep in mind, homecoming's like a couple weeks ahead. So homecoming's around the corner. So homecoming now is, I think, a week behind or a week ahead. So we're like right there now. And I was after Spanish class, and this girl that I'm cool with, she kind of tells me, she gives me heads up. She's like, "Hey, so you know, there's gonna be a surprise for you after Spanish class." I'm like, "What do you mean?" She's like, "I can't tell you. I just want to let you know that it's kind of cute. I'll let you'll be surprised. You'll be happy." And so I'm like, "Just tell me. You know, I want to know." She's like, "Okay, well, just letting you know, she's asking you to homecoming." I'm like, "You're joking, right?" She's all like, "No, she's legit asking you to homecoming. Like, she's making a big deal about it." I'm like, "No, she's not. Like, she's no way in a million years she's gonna ask me to homecoming. Like, for real." She's like, "No, she has a poster for you. She has something really cute for you. Like, she's gonna straight up ask you in front of everybody." I'm like, "Fuck!" Like a few minutes right before the bell rung, she comes up to me, like in my Spanish class, her and her 2 other friends. She's like, "Hey, Vic, do you think you can step outside real quick? We need to talk to you. Super emergency." So she persuaded the Spanish teacher to let me go out of class real quick because it was an emergency. So I was like, "All right, we'll talk." And I kind of knew where this was going. I was like, "Shit, this is not happening right now as we're speaking." I go out and she's like, "Vic, I have something to ask you." She's holding something behind her back. So again, she's holding something behind her back. She puts it in front of her, whatever the object was. She throws it to me. I catch it. I look at it, and yeah. And she drops a poster right as she throws the picture. Like, her and her friends are holding the poster, and the poster says this. Now I'm completely frozen. Like, I'm like, and the bell rings. So now everybody is walking by watching. Worst part was her friends are recording like me on Snapchat. Like, they're legit like in front of my face recording. And I'm like, shit, man, this is a situation, because if I said no in front of everybody, in front of the cameras, I would have looked like a douchebag. Because again, my junior year is when I started transitioning and becoming a douchebag. So in my heart I was like, no, I can't be a douchebag. I can't go into that phase. So I was like, alright, yeah, I'll go to homecoming with you. It was awkward when that night came around, homecoming, because I pick her up in my truck because I was driving an Expedition at the time. And so I pick her up, and it's kind of awkward, and we weren't really talking. I was asking, "Oh, you ready to have fun tonight?" She's like, "Yeah." And it was awkward. Like, you can feel it. We go there. We're not really dancing with each other. Like, I'm dancing with my friends. She's dancing with her friends. It was awkward. You can feel it. So song started playing, and so everyone's grabbing a partner, so she grabs me. So we're slow dancing and everything, and then she straight up confronts me. She's like, "Hey, is it true you're gonna say no?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" She's like, "Yeah, your best friend." She told me, like, "Yeah, your best friend straight up told me that yeah, you were gonna say no." And I was like, "Oh, do you believe him or do you believe me?" She's like, "I don't know who to believe." And I was like, "All right, well, believe what you want then." And so I was kind of irritated. I was like, "Damn!" So he told her straight up I was gonna say no, and so it kind of made me look kind of bad. And at the end of the night, she was upset. She was clearly upset, and so my best friend asked her if he could take her home. And so she comes up to me in front of all my other friends, because me and this guy have beef. And so she's all like, yeah, so-and-so asked me if I can go home with them. Is that fine? I get heated real quick. I straight up told her, do whatever the fuck you want. And I just walked away. And again, Gio's walking around, walking around the fucking cafeteria just screaming, oh, he did it. And so I was pissed off, and I was all like, do whatever you want. And I remember that night I was really upset. I called Gio. I was like, bro, this is really pissing me off, blah, blah, blah. And so me and him had a really cool conversation. This is when me and Gio actually started transitioning to becoming cool friends. So yeah, it was an awkward situation because I wanted to say no, and I had to say yes. My best friend at the time straight up told her, like, he wanted to say no. He just was trying to be nice to you. He ended up taking her home. Awkward situation, and that night ended up being a bad night in my situation.
Alright, so my story is on a completely different note. It's mainly funny, a little bit of awkwardness, but mainly put that shit down.
Hey.
So it's mainly funny, a little bit of awkwardness. It was junior year, and our English teacher was our drama teacher too, and I was in drama class. So I was dating this one girl at the time, and we were in the same drama class. So we sat next to each other, obviously. So basically, she goes and she's like, "You guys are sitting too close." I was like, "What the fuck are you talking?" Like, I didn't say what. I was like, "Okay, like, what are you talking about?" She's like, "Oh, like, why you guys sitting so close?" I'm like, "Watching the goddamn movie. Like, leave us alone." She was like, "What'd you say?" And I was like, "I'm watching the movie. No one else in here is watching the movie. So leave me alone. I'm trying to just watch your movie that you want us to watch so badly." She was like, "Don't talk to me like that." And I was like, "Shut up."
Okay, nice.
And she was like, "Excuse me?" I'm like, "Shut up. No one cares what you say, to be honest. Like, all we do is watch movies in all your classes."
True.
And she was like, "I work really hard." I was like, "I don't give a shit what you do."
Dang.
And she was like, "Go to the office if you're gonna cuss." I'm like, "Fine, I'll go to the fucking office. I don't gotta sit here and listen to your fucking bullshit." I started walking out, and she was like, "Oh, you could stay there too." And I was like, "Oh, actually, no, I'm gonna leave my shit here because I'm gonna come back." And I told her that. I didn't actually think I was gonna come back, obviously for my stuff, but I didn't think I was gonna come back into class. So I walked to the office and basically had a conversation with our principal / vice principal.
Yeah.
Basically, this principal / vice principal knew me since 7th grade, knew how big of a hothead I was, and so she was like, "Yeah, like, I understand you're not gonna disrespect someone that is not disrespecting you." And she was like, "Okay, well, like, let's just not say anything to her, like, the rest of the time, and just go back in there and watch the rest of the movie." I walked back down that hallway with such confidence. I was like, "I'm gonna fuck this shit up so bad." So I walked back, and I was just like, I looked at her, and it was kind of like an awkward, like, look at it. And I sat down, and she was like, "What are you doing? I thought you're supposed to grab your stuff." I'm like, "No, like, our vice principal told me just to come back in and watch the rest of the movie like I was doing the whole goddamn time."
Nice.
And then she was like, "Oh." And like, she sat there and like stared for a while, and I was like, "What the fuck this bitch fucking want, dude?" And like, pretty much for the rest of the year, it was really weird between us two, because obviously she's the teacher and you have to talk to the teacher. It's not like a friend and you can avoid that person forever, you know. It's the teacher and you have to talk to the teacher.
Last story. It's somewhat senior year going to current. So this is what made me who I am today, believe it or not. Because senior year, I became the straightest douchebag you can think of. Like, I honestly gave no fucks at that point. Like, I got heated for like no reason. There was a couple of times where I walked out of class. It was bad. And so it had to do with a lot of things with who I was hanging out with, what I did after school, blah blah blah. And we won't get into that, but there was a light at the end of the tunnel. So I started talking to this girl. I don't know why I started talking, honestly. I talked to this girl. I'm like, "You know what? You want to go watch, a movie together sometime? We'll get all the friends going, and we'll have a great time." She's like, "Yeah, I'm down." So throughout the year, I'm trying to talk to the girl, and I guess she's somewhat trying to talk to me. It's not really clear what's going on. But at the end of the year, right before graduation, I became a better person. Like, I legit became happier. I became better with myself. I dropped a lot of weight. This is when I started to become like 250, 260. Like, I dropped a lot of weight from the beginning of senior year to the end of senior year. I was a lot more confident. I was a lot more happier. So, and because it's a girl, that's the reason why. And so it was awkward because the day before graduation was a senior sunset, right? I asked her before senior sunset, I was like, hey, so what are we exactly? Are we like dating? Are we not dating? Do you like me? Like, how is this gonna work out? Because college was coming up. We weren't sure what we were doing for college. And believe it or not, I had a couple offers for football, and so I wasn't sure 100% what I was gonna do. So I was kind of lost in my own kind of like feelings, in my own kind of world. So I was like, all right, so what are we doing? I just want to know where we're at. She's all like, honestly, don't know. And I was like, all right, that's cool. As long as you're honest with me, at least we can kind of move on from it. So this is where it kind of gets kind of awkward. So I decided right before we graduated, like right before we were going like to the hall to do our graduation ceremony, I decided to do a post. So I posted, it was about her. I was like, if it wasn't for this girl, I would have not become the person who I am today. I would have been happier, blah, blah, blah. And I thought it was an amazing post. Like, I thought it was going to make her happy. She's going to be like, I didn't know, like, I helped you out through the situation. Instead, I get a text from her after, like, I posted it, like, maybe 10 minutes after. She's like, I thought I told you I didn't know what we were. And I was all like, wait, what? And I was like, what do you mean? I know we're not anything. I just wanted to make a post about you, like, why you helped me out. And she's all like, yeah, I honestly didn't really enjoy that post. It put me in a bad situation. I told you I'm still thinking about it. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say. So now it's awkward before graduation. So it's like, oh shit, maybe I should not have posted that. And now graduation's happening, ceremony, and so it's just like awkward, completely silent. I'm just like looking down, I'm looking up, or I'm looking to the side. Like, it was just awkward from that day on, and like I kind of regret making that post now because yeah, now it's just an awkward situation. Alright guys, thank you for watching part 2 of awkward moments in high school / middle school. Trust me, awkward moments never end. It's going to continue, and awkward moments are going right now with me and why guys or girls should make the first move. So if you guys haven't watched any of those videos, I have all the links down in the description below. Go check all of them out. But again, if you haven't watched part 1 of this, we have some pretty interesting stories to tell you guys. So again, make sure to go watch those. I hope to see you guys next time on the next episode. I don't know what the next series would be or the next episode would be, but just keep a lookout for the next video, alright? Sincerely yours, Vic.